If I told you the story of Malevelon, would you fall in line? Pay homage to all of those who've fallen, or celebrate them each year that passes when they're no longer with us? Would you ask me their name, their legacies, and what changes their actions brought to the world? Would you aspire to be like them in every way that you can perceive? Telling the Creek story is a waste if it doesn't fill you with hope or give you a reason to sacrifice. Back then we were nothing more than a scruffy band of divers strapped into pods diving straight down without any warning. We woke up straight out of the defrost, and when we emerged all we had left to do was to grab whatever weapon was alongside our pod and emerge into battle. Some of us lived, some of us didn't. I remember meeting a lot of folks down there that didn't make it past our first objective together. Running past tanks, struggling with large-scale bombardments coming down upon us. Nothing but a machine gun sent in from orbit and a liberator strapped to my belt. Standard issue weaponry. Orders were to go launch an ICBM. I just remember being pinned down behind a rock, hearing nothing but the jetpacks zooming off all around me. Yet still, the missile went off. Freedom reigns once more. That's what Mission Control said. So we ran from the launch site, all the guns and lasers still blaring, firing at us. Coming from every direction, and nothing but close air support could save me. And it did save me. Just me. I fought and bled to launch that missile with those men. And with the speed that our intel was coming, I didn't have time to question the objective. Make it work, extract, make sure to bring everything that I could from that fight back. When I finally got to the super destroyer, I was just told to grab more gear, and all I could listen to was the ship repeating over and over, "Hell pods primed." Then we dropped. This time a completely different squad. A complete rookie, and some guy who called himself the Vandal. So we made do. Immediately pinned down, I fought to get those two out of danger and secured yet another ICBM launch site. We were preparing to launch the missile on an area of the planet that was isolated. But I saw the map. I knew what the target really was. I knew we had lost our own planet. It was once my home, serene after years of fighting bugs, now a staging ground for the automatons. Only to just hear the rookie say, "Help, I'm stuck." That's when I realized he primed the warhead engines to launch. He was stuck at the bottom of the missile site. I remember looking at my helipad, seeing that there was barely no time left, and I pressed the button. I launched the missile. Despite the scream, we keep going. We keep fighting. Democracy's finest. So we mobilized somewhere else. We secured artillery sites. Me and this Vandal moved on. We made it to the extraction site. We got out. Supposedly, a clean mission. But it wasn't over. The automatons still had so much more ground left to take. So we got sent somewhere else again. Split up. Vandal went elsewhere, and I went on. This time we had simple orders. Push the enemy out of a location. They granted us shield generator relays. We assumed we had no weapons. They gave me this weird yellow thing. They called it a sickle. It was a laser. It was fast firing. It felt very similar to the weapons that the automatons were using. It even had the same scorch marks and the same laser streaks across the air. It kind of felt like we were turning the tide, using their own guns against them. So we dove. We landed on a spot, exited our pods, looked around us at a fortified base. But there were no enemies. Turned out it was an ambush. So we fought. We fought and called for help time and time again. First squad that was with me, they were wiped out. Then another squad came in. And then one by one, reinforcements trickled in. The fight kept escalating. And our requests for extraction were refused. We fought. We bled. I lost comrades down there. In the end, the Pelican came in. And as I held that door open waiting for my last teammate to arrive, the comm went silent. So I got in. With nothing but dog tags. And I still remember my very last fight. High quality Spec Ops gear, the kind you only get with a promotion. And some rookie who stuck by me and followed my commands extremely well. I was nothing more than a deaf captain. But the kid, he called me Commissar. Not as a rank, but out of respect. He knew I had seen this surface numerous times. So we moved together. We recovered critical data from the creek. Just before the final hours came down. It wasn't a combat mission. It was a retrieval mission. The final order that High Command issued me on the surface. What came afterwards, the simple High Command message. Authorize everything. Bring all super destroyers to bear. The creek received its reinforcements in the form of orbital bombardment. We fought through dense ionized forest and muddy waters, secured that critical data, and we made our way to that extraction. 4 of us went in. We ran as fast as we could from where we were at. By the time we made it to the Pelican's landing site, only 2 of us stood there. Only then did the Pelican start its path, and as the super destroyers gave us the signal that they were moving on to another site, one final orbital laser came down, striking down the enemies at our landing site. Normally one would think that's what we needed to get out of there, but that train of thought was wrong. That laser let all of the bots know exactly where we were. What the rookie thought was our salvation ended up being a beacon to the enemies who were coming up against us. So I gave him orders. We held our ground and prepared for what genuinely felt like my final fight. My spear and his autocannon roared against the enemy lines as we fought through the dense fog and the oncoming heavy armor. Devastators, Annihilators, Hulks, you name it. It was all coming down on us as we held with nothing more than a little small piece of wall, stopping the bullets from hitting us. And just as we held our ground, seconds before the Pelican arrived, the rookie peeked over the wall, and the single stray rocket flew off the top of his body. It was an instant. Once again, standing alone, with nothing but what was left of the enemy and the dog tags in front of him. We couldn't avenge my comrade. I didn't have enough firepower, not enough bullets. All I could do was sit back and accept the sacrifice he made, having bought me those precious seconds. What it was like when we were planetside? Well, it was hell. And we dove. I don't operate this ship to fight the enemy. I operate it so I can save as many of you down there as possible. My squads didn't make it back then, but I will stand by the will of the people. If it means ensuring that all the SEAF under my command make sure that as many Helldivers extract as possible. Then I'll take command.